Shalom. First and foremost, we'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom. What we're going to do, we're going to finish off this little piece, this part 2 of this adultery piece that we weren't able to finish last time. So we're going to go into that so that we can end this off, and so you brothers and sisters have understanding about this. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off here with 1 Corinthians 7 from the top, and it states, "Now concerning the things whereof ye wrote unto me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence." Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife have not power. You want to go into that? Okay. The wife have not power of her own body, but the husband. And likewise also the husband have not power of his own body, but the wife. Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency.
Yeah, go into that.
Now, here's what you want to understand about these scriptures here. From the top, it goes into, if you cannot, for a husband, let me see that right again. It says, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife, and let every woman have her own husband. Now, this, if you cannot control yourself with your desires or whatever, it's best to marry. Because if you don't, and you go out here and fornicate, what is that? End result is death.
Right.
You're gonna die. If you're a fornicator out here, or a whoremonger, or whatever, you're gonna die. That's what the Most High, that's what the end result is for you.
Yeah,
for all that stuff. So you don't wanna follow this pattern. And if you have control, of course, you stay the course and until the end. But if you don't, go ahead and get married, man. But there are rules to this thing, man. You got to abide by the rules that Yahweh and Yahawashi has prescribed for us. Now, when it talks about let
do benevolence.
Yeah, now when it talks about
Might have been on in the bag.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
let the husband render unto his wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. Now this goes into a couple of things. First and foremost, you would think about sexual aspects of it, where a woman would not do for the husband, or vice versa. But it goes deeper into that. It's a little more to that. You know, you're talking about rendering unto that individual's needs, not necessarily sexual needs, but what do you call it? Emotional needs, things of that nature.
Yeah, due benevolence. Yeah.
Due benevolence.
Yeah, that's all that is.
Yeah, so you're taking care of that person, and so this is what we start to look at when individuals are not performing those duties. Then the other person feels defrauded, and so now they want to exit the premises.
Yeah, because due benevolence, you have to always give her flowers every week.
Nope.
That's not what that is.
That's not what that is.
Because what happens is, you know, sometimes in a relationship, it's about trying to outperform your last. What have you done for me lately?
Right.
So, a staycation away from your kids in downtown with you and your wife, it's not enough for her. She wants you to take her down to Greece. She wants you know, because some ball player take his wife there.
Yeah.
So that's not what it's talking about.
That's not what it's talking about.
Because sometimes it's what happens where we talk about what is happiness.
Yeah, right.
Happiness is not you enjoying your life enjoying a life of luxury. Your due benevolence is what your actions is directly towards your spouse. It's not all this other flim-flam stuff that you sort of push to the heads of our people.
That's right. In verse 5, it says, "Defraud ye not one another, except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinency." Now, see, this is what would have to happen in the event if a man and woman they start to grow apart, so to speak. This is what society say, oh, we just grew apart. Now, see, you didn't take the steps to bring yourself back together. See, the scripture's telling you to give yourself time with fasting and prayer, and then come back, because what has obviously happened is that Satan came into the midst and tore your stuff up, and you allowed him that victory because you didn't understand the will of the Heavenly Father. And the only way to combat Satan in that marriage is to understand the will, just like the instructions are given here. Give yourself to fasting and prayer, and then come back together again. And what that'll do, that'll build you up spiritually, and then you can look at that person or that individual without lust in the eyes, and look at them according to the will of the Father in righteousness. And that's what will keep that thing glued together.
Yeah, that's why if you look at the statistics, the average so-called black marriage lasts 5 years.
Come on, bro.
I say so-called black because that's the statistics that's used.
Yep.
But 5 years, that's the average length of marriage. And the reason why, because it was largely built on lust.
Yep. Yep.
And once that wears off, y'all don't have really a foundation to build on. You can't build your relationship off of lust. That's why Tobit, in the book of Tobit, it was told, take not your sister to this woman, the wife, for
that lust.
For that lust. You know,
Yep.
There's a duty and responsibility with marriage. It does include the due benevolence, but you also want to take into account the foundational aspect of the relationship. Can't be just that. It has to be spiritually grounded, and then everything else follows.
That's right. Verse 6, it says, but I speak this by permission and not of commandment. For I would that all men were even as I myself, but every man had this proper gift of God, one after this manner and another after that. I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. So when you're looking at that burn, it's talking about I want to say it's talking about burn with lust.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think it's talking
about judgment.
Yeah, it's not talking about judgment. It's talking about burn with lust.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So when you're looking at that, you would want to go ahead and marry if you can't contain yourself, so that you don't burn with that lust. Because if you burn with that lust, guess what that's going to do? That's going to turn you into a fornicator, and guess what the end of a fornicator is? It's death. So these are parameters that are keeping you from that death spiral. So we got to listen to what Paul's saying in these scriptures so that we can protect ourselves from it.
It says to be set. Well, I'll go into the word. The word there, pyro.
Yeah.
It's like the word pyro. Pyrotechnics.
Mm-hmm.
Pyro means fire. So, yeah. I mean, you can say interpret it both ways.
Yeah,
The word pyro is just needs to be set on fire.
Oh, okay. So
which regardless of what. Either way, it still leads to that.
It still leads to that, because that's what I'm saying. Because it's going to lead you to fornication, and you're going to burn anyway.
Exactly.
So
that's why it's better. It's better that if you're in a situation where you and a woman are together, and you know, the thing about it is so much immaturity in this day. Back then, I don't know what it was like back then.
Yeah.
But it just made sense when two people were already like each other in amongst the believers. Let them marry rather than them fight back and forth about whether or not they want to move forward. And then what happens is the sexual tension, that's what it's called in today's society.
Yeah. Right.
It leads to that person doing other things.
Right.
Because I really want to be with this woman. She really wants to be with me, but I'm frustrated. So now I'm going to go get a release somewhere else.
Right.
And now you're in fornication.
Now you're in fornication.
That's what it's talking about.
Yeah.
So it's better for y'all to just marry than for this tension to rouse up into something else.
Yep, that's right. Then, verse 10, and it says, and unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband, but and if she depart, let her remain unmarried, or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife. Now, here's the thing. If those individuals are married, this is what Paul is trying to protect you from, because guess what? You fall into that death spiral again. He's saying if you are married, let me read it again so that we be clear.
Yep.
It said, unto the married I command, yet not I, but the Lord, let not the wife depart from her husband. Because if she departs and she marries another, guess what? She's an adulterer. End result of an adulterer is death. Verse 11, but and if she depart, let her remain unmarried. Meaning,
Come on, dog.
this girl cannot touch another man for the rest of her life as long as that man is alive, man. Yeah, yeah. We ain't going.
That's heavy right there.
Yeah, that's heavy right there.
That's very heavy. See, a lot of sisters is husband hopping. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Because now you put yourself in the seat of judgment, and you put the man that you're dealing with in the seat of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we gotta like understand someone's background and situation. Now we talked about it, how if one is a believer, their sins are remitted, their those transgressions that they had from those actions prior are wiped away.
Yeah, yeah.
So this doesn't mean like some of these other, like somebody would think, oh, she's already been with a man. If I get with her, she's already an adultery because she's not a virgin.
Right.
That's not what it's talking about.
Right.
It's talking about you already been eloped with somebody, you've been in an ongoing, continuing relationship with a man. You leave. You gotta stay.
Without a man, you can't touch. Can't get with another man.
Yeah, and it's talking about among the believers.
Yeah, it's talking about under believers, right?
Among the believers.
Uh-huh.
So you just can't just hop in. That just causes confusion.
Yeah. So
Because you can't even label when a sister leaves and then the brother wants to do a lesson with a brother or go travel to another city, and that brother is with his ex-wife.
Right. Come on, bro.
That's out of order.
That's out of order.
Do you know that? I'm gonna give you an example. Do you know that the one of the Jackson brothers married the ex-wife of the other brother?
Yep. So right.
You already
bro.
know that they had beef over that stuff.
Yep. That's right, bro.
That's wicked.
So that we can make this clear. In the believers, if that wife decides to leave that man, she can't get with nobody else. If she does, she gonna die.
That's right.
It's truth.
Any of y'all sisters that's married to a brother right now, y'all with that brother.
Yeah, you with him. You got to be
Unless
with
that
him.
brother passed away, that's your husband.
Yep. And
We don't care if the most eligible bachelor, Kyrie Irving, can come here sitting on $200 million.
Yep.
You better stay your butt down.
Yep.
It ain't no way you get out of it.
Ain't
You ain't gonna
That's that
finagle
brother
way
die.
with a counsel out of the
Come on,
relationship.
bro. Yeah, you can't do that, man.
Now, if he committed
fornication, according to the fornication rules, then that frees an individual from that.
But guess what? We going to examine. Did you withhold sex from him? Because of fornication.
Or if the brother died.
Or if the brother died.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. So it says, but and if she depart, let her remain unmarried or be reconciled to her husband, and let not the husband put away his wife.
Come on.
Verse 12, it says, but to the rest speak I. Now we're going into a spiritual understanding that Paul is about to break down.
Because this ain't nothing Paul just making up off the top of his head, man.
Come on.
Yeah.
This Paul is speaking in the spirit right now.
No, he said about the rest I speak.
Yeah.
So meaning in his spiritual opinion.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's speaking in the spirit right now.
It says, but to the rest speak I, not the Lord. If any brother hath a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away. Listen to that. She don't believe, and she want to stay with him. Don't put her away.
We have groups that actually would say to leave your unbelieving spouse, even though they want to stay, because they're trying to
circumvent the script, because they're like, oh shit.
Now peep this out. That was his opinion. But this is a sound opinion.
That's right. Yeah.
This is sound counsel, because think about it, what do y'all say? What is one of the reasons why, from the sake of reputation of the body, why is it that he would suggest that a brother or sister stay with the non-believer? Let's go over what are some of the reasons why that would make sense. Why would he suggest that?
Because they would potentially have the ability to come into the fold.
That's one.
Yep.
What's another one?
And the non-believing can be saved through the belief of the believer.
Yep. Also, what if they have children?
Yep.
Imagine brothers that are married to non-believing women, they have children, and now you got a whole bunch of brothers that left their wives.
Right.
They say, man, I'm out, man, I don't want to be part of the family. I'm just paying my child support, I'm gone. And then now we got a reputation as guys that desert their families.
Come on, bro. And you see that in Israel, bro. You see that in Israel.
And they use the escape hatch as, I'm a believer, she don't believe.
Yeah.
So now I want to go get with this other sister that believes because I like her better than my wife, than my non-believing wife.
Come on, bro.
Who I have a family and kids with, who still want to be with me.
And brothers would call that righteous, but that's wicked, man.
Yep.
That's wicked.
Yep.
See, brothers see, this is what we're talking about when we're talking about understanding a carnally mind as opposed to a spiritual mind. Paul is spiritually minded, and it makes sense, bro.
Hey, there's a guy that I know who tries to tell sisters online that if they're with a non-believing man and they're a believer, that they should leave that man and go get you a man with understanding.
Wicked.
Nah.
Bad counsel.
This same guy, his wife believed before he did, and he was still in the world with his living the
living his life.
Living his life while his woman was in these scripts and trying to keep the Sabbath and keeping the dietary law, but she didn't leave him, and he later became a believer.
Man.
So how are you gonna give an advice to sisters to tell them to leave when you benefited from your woman staying with you?
Come on, bro.
And you converted.
Come on, bro. Yep.
And I'm just talking about converting into the truth, not the quote-unquote truth, not even the gospel.
Right.
But I'm just giving an example of why that doesn't make sense, why you can give such a counsel.
What they call truth, knowing you Israel.
Yep. Verse 13, it says, and the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him. So it's vice versa. It works both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 14, for the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife, and the unbelieving wife is sanctified by the husband. Else were your children unclean, but now are they holy.
Now, you know why he's probably saying this? Because he's seen this happen.
Yep.
He's seen people convert by staying
with that spouse. Yep.
He's seen through observation. After a while, he say, okay, the sister was with this guy. Now this guy finally came through a year later.
Right.
His sister was a non-believer. She was celebrating the Feast of Bacchus last year. This brother's been believing, and he's been trying to keep the family together. And she still cares about him, but she's confused. But now she's back. Now she's in the church. She's a believer.
That's right.
Now she's asking to get baptized.
Right.
So now you say, wait, hold on. If this person was a non-believer, this one was, and they later come around to it.
Right.
That means it makes sense for them to stay together.
Yep. That's right.
I'm not gonna break the home.
Right.
If there's peace, just let it work out.
Yep. That's right. That's right.
Now remember, if a non-believing spouse who believes in the other doctrines, religions, whatever, and let's say they end up doing something that's against the law, like meaning she goes and commits adultery. That's different. You get rid of her.
Yep.
We're talking about one that's in line with not doing those other things, and they're not hindering your walk with the Lord.
And the key thing in it is when it states, and they be pleased to dwell with you.
That's correct.
Because now if they pleased to dwell, they ain't gonna do that. They gonna do those things that's gonna cause you to be ticked off. They like, that woman's gonna say, I want to be with this man. I like what I love him or whatever, and then so she's gonna be like, he don't like this, I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
So and vice versa. So then,
and I've seen that even among family. Like my mom, she don't buy like unclean foods.
Yeah.
She don't even make shrimp. Like she don't even make shrimp like she used to. She don't, like, just because of my influence.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? When I go there, she don't have that stuff. She get turkey sausage. She don't get the regular
bacon and stuff.
Pork sausage. So that just shows you just how someone can just, even though they're not a believer, they can start to conform to what you are.
Right. That's right.
And another thing, this is an added bonus or sidebar. If somebody's married or with someone who's perceived to be of another nation, we can't assume they're of another nation. So if a sister's married to a guy that is perceived to be of another nation, so-called white, so-called Asian, so-called, that's what people say, African.
Right.
We can't tell that sister to leave that person.
Right.
Or vice versa.
Right.
If a brother comes in, he has a so-called Asian wife, we can't be like, brother, you're going to leave her. She's a Moabite, she's an Ammonite.
Yep.
For one, we don't know.
Yep.
Two, if she's not disrupting his life, if she's peaceful, dealt with him, we got to let it be.
We got to let it be. Because we have seen groups who are supposedly, quote unquote, top teachers tell brothers to leave their so-called Asian wife or so-called white wife and say, oh, you're Israelite, you can't be with her. Bad counsel.
You see it all the time whenever the like an
Very bad
interracial
counsel.
couple walk by, and them brothers will be telling them, "Hey, get out, brother. You gotta get out."
Yep.
You can't do that, man. And that's why we have to talk about these things.
Yep.
Because y'all have to understand like what we're in. And why is this a prime example? Why are we not wrong? I'm gonna tell you why we're not wrong.
Moses was married to a Ethiopian woman.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So when you look at an example, wasn't he in the first church in the wilderness?
Yeah, right. The first church in the wilderness, according to the scripture in the New Testament. Yeah.
So you got to think what we're talking about. When the deliverance happens, any brother or sister that may be paired up with a man or woman that is not of another nation, the Most High is going to sort that out.
He's gonna sort it out, bro.
Either that person may pass, or the Most High may deliver them with you. But
Right.
they're not going to inherit the kingdom, but they'll live out their years. But I guarantee you this: if the woman is married to a heathen man, and she get on that chair and get another side, he ain't smashing her no more.
Yeah.
As soon as that change happens, he ain't gonna be able to go into her no more. You better believe that.
Yeah, it's over.
You
It's
already
over.
know. It's
Because
over.
he ain't getting no ride. He ain't getting no ride.
No,
That ride is out. Yeah, it's over. It's over.
It's a wrap. It ain't happening. Because you already know how to. You got to think, keep in mind.
Yep.
That the man that might be married to a woman that might have been linked to a woman of another nation, she'll just fall into the role of a concubine.
Yep, that's it. That's it, bro.
If the Most High allows her to survive.
Yep. And you gotta look at that with the spirit of understanding, man.
Yeah.
You got to have that understanding about that.
Yeah. So any sister that comes in, you're married. You're married to a so-called whatever Asian man, white man, Arab man, whatever. We're not going to tell you to go and leave. Now, if you come in with that, you stay with that.
Yep.
If you're married, seek not to be loose.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So
yep.
That's what we're saying. Now, if things start going haywire and wrong and everything like that, he's not a believer. He's thinking you're in a cult, yada yada. You can end that.
Because it ain't gonna be no peace.
Yeah. You're
'cause
called into peace. Is it the same chapter?
Because he called you. Yep, just like the brother said, because you called
I think
it
it's
to
in
be.
there, right?
Yeah. Well, this is the last verse right here.
She not under bondage anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
We are called into peace.
Verse 15, it says, "But if the unbelieving depart, let him depart. A brother or sister is not under bondage in such cases, but God have called us to peace."
Now, what does that mean? That means that woman can do what? Or that brother, if that relationship they came in with ends up dissolving because it was...
That means that you have a second opportunity
Come on,
to go and get married to a person in the Lord only, strictly.
That's right.
Correct.
So that bondage, so when you're looking at that bondage, see, we're talking about two different laws here. We're talking about the law of Moses as opposed to the law of Yahawashi.
Right.
See, when we come under the law of Yahawashi, we get that chance. That's that chance right there. You're not that mercy. You're not under bondage. You're not under bondage according to the law of Moses. Right? That was the law. If you leave that woman, you commit a fornication or adultery, right?
Yep.
So now you're freed from that. You're free from that.
Come on, man.
Now you're going into the spirit. Find you somebody in the spirit, man, and stay with him forever.
Beautiful. What he's saying is that if we were before Yahawashi, you couldn't even do that.
You couldn't even do that, bro.
Nope.
You couldn't
If
even
she
do
was
that.
annoying you, he was annoying you. As long as adultery wasn't happening, you couldn't do nothing.
Couldn't do nothing,
No
bro.
fornication, you couldn't do nothing. But if it's verified that you all are not getting along, there's arguments every day, it's not fruitful, you're missing work, you're not eating right, you're depressed, like real stuff. Like we gotta confirm that, because we don't want people you try to use that excuse. Guess what? You're not gonna run. You're not gonna run stuff by. There's enough brothers that are spiritually minded. You're not gonna be able to run it by.
Right.
It's just not gonna happen. You're not gonna be able to manipulate your way out of a situation where you're trying to cause a breakup when you know you're just causing it.
Right. That's right.
Because Kyrie Irving enjoying some other brother that's a baller, he done joined and you got your eyes on him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man.
You got some Tyson Beckford looking joker that came in the game.
Yeah, because you know how Jake mind goes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I gotta get rid of this joker.
Yeah, so sister that came through looking like a young Stacey Dash. Got a brother like, man, stuff going on at the house, man. This is tripping.
Man, look, she done ate the tater chips and ain't nothing but looking at the tater chips in the back. Man, I'm out of here, man. I'm out. Jake can do that, man.
All over the DMs.
This is the precept what you were just saying in the Matthew right here.
Yeah.
Matthew 19:8. He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your heart, suffer you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so.
It was
Come on,
not
man.
so, bro.
Come on,
right.
God. Beautiful.
You couldn't put them away, man,
Couldn't put him away, bro.
for no reason, bro.
See, man.
Except for like, and back then, the wickedness is not as high as now.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you just had an annoying wife, you just had to deal with it. You had a husband that was wicked like Nabal.
Right.
You had to deal with it. That's why Abigail was still with Nabal.
Yep.
She knew that the dude was foolish.
Yep.
She's like, look at that, this dude is named this, man.
But if Abigail was a believer, Nabal was a non-believer acting crazy. And
Right. And it gives him an opportunity.
And it's like I can't. It's not working. And y'all see how I'm getting. He's cursing me out every day. He's treating me. He don't want me to study my scriptures. I want to pray. I want to wear head wraps. I want to wear Gucci mama outfits.
Yep.
And out in public.
Yep.
You know, he's seeing it. Okay, so listen. You don't want to be with you. You didn't want to. Okay, cool. Just let it go.
Yep.
You're not under that bondage. But back then, you guys.
Yeah, you got to
say the name of
and this is the mercy and grace that Yahawashi has allotted us in this time. And see, but here's the thing. A lot of the brothers and sisters now, they negate Yahawashi's peace, man.
Yeah.
They just, man, screw that, man. Look at, I'm going to get with her. I don't want you no more for to go and get them. Oh, I don't want you no more to go and get them. See, they'll start abusing stuff, bro.
Yep.
You got to look out for that, man. Because Jake is a trip.
Explain the not in bondage piece and the not in bondage and the free piece of that, like.
He got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in Romans 7.
Yeah, Romans 7.
That way brothers can understand that concept of not being under bondage
Yep.
anymore and being in the spirit.
Yeah. Yeah, man. This is some good stuff right here, man.
Very good stuff.
That bondage is pertaining to Moses' peace and being and in the spirit, living in the spirit is the Yahawashi peace.
Yep.
This is Romans chapter 7 and verse 1. Know ye not, brethren, for I speak for them that know the law of Moses.
Yep.
How that the law hath dominion over a man as long as he liveth. For the woman which hath an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he liveth.
That's right.
But if the husband be dead, she is loose from the law of her husband.
That's right.
So then if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress.
That's right.
For if her husband be dead, she is free from that law.
That's right.
So that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man, meaning been married to another man. Wherefore, my brethren, ye also are become dead to the law by the body of Mashiach, that ye should be married to one another, even to him who is raised from the dead, that we should bring forth fruit unto God. So you are made free, you are made dead by the law, from the law through the belief in Yahawashi.
Yep.
Meaning that he's able to kill that ordinance that was written against you.
Yep.
Like as I said, blotting the handwriting of the ordinance that was written against us.
The ordinance that was against you was going to be death.
Because that stuff had you in bondage.
Yep.
Yeah.
It had you in
That
bondage,
was going to be
bro.
the death
Couldn't
part.
free you because you got that remission.
Okay, I thought you was cutting loose.
You couldn't free you until you got that remission.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You needed that remission to free you, to give you a new life.
Yeah. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why all these people that are under this truth without the gospel, without the baptism and of understanding, they really are bound to really the old law.
Yeah, that's right.
They really shouldn't be using what's it called because y'all haven't y'all haven't had the blotting of their handwriting in the ordinance.
That's true.
That's why a lot of sisters, a lot of you sisters, because a lot of the relationship issues that are going to come up are going to be from the sister side because quite frankly, and like Kevin Samuel said, 54% of black men are married and child. Those are the middle class. So a lot of brothers, they don't come in with baggage. A lot of brothers don't come in with a lot of baggage in the street.
Yeah.
Like being a family or baby mama situation. But a lot of sisters, y'all are in entanglements.
Yep.
Y'all got ex-street dudes y'all dealing with. Y'all got kids y'all bringing in. Y'all got more situations. So when a lot of y'all sisters come in, if y'all come in the right mentality, y'all get freed from the bondage of the law then a brother may be willing to deal with you accordingly if it all lines up with what we're talking about.
Yeah,
right.
But if it don't, we're gonna tell brothers that you gotta sit down or continue dealing with your man.
Yeah.
Like trade up. I didn't call the sister, hey, you gotta still deal with that guy.
You got to. You got
I
to.
said it's just too early in the game. You just know how the game is.
Yeah.
If you got a kid with a guy, y'all just had the kid is less than a year old.
Come on, bro.
Y'all ain't,
It's still a connection,
you're
bro.
still attracted to him. Yeah, y'all not dating together, but there's a lot of emotions that brothers know. If you still saying, oh, you still complaining about it because you care about it.
Yep, that's
He
right.
ain't gotten over it.
Yep.
And then on top of that, he's still gonna see his kid. There's a lot of stuff that can go on with that.
And
That
then
we don't want brothers to have to suffer through with, the baby
Yep.
daddy still
Yep.
plowing away.
Yep, that's right, Doc. That's right.
So a lot of sisters, like, I'll get mad at Kim and Samuels, but the stuff is true.
Uh-huh. Yeah, hey, what can you say about it, man?
Yeah.
Truth is true.
So continuing on, this is verse 5. For when we were in the flesh, the motions of sin, which were by the law, did work in our members to bring forth fruit unto death, which is the behavior we're talking about.
Yep.
Because the stuff we're talking about is even the past fornication or acts that were being done.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about marriage, of course, and relationships. So. But this is talking about all types of sins, not just that. But
Yeah,
right.
Disclaimer so that
Yeah.
people don't think it's just talking about that.
Yeah.
Just for the sake of the subject, I'm saying is that. Verse 6, but now we are delivered from the law that being dead wherein we were held under bondage, that we should serve the newness of spirit and not the oldness of the letter.
Look at that. So there you go right there. That bondage that was mentioned in that 1 Corinthians 7 and 15 lines right up with that Romans 7 and 6 right there, man.
That's really it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so that should clear up the rest for this as far as the adultery is concerned.
Right, man.
So that it brings more clarity into it, because this part right here gives a little bit more detail into the understanding of this marriage and adultery piece.
Right.
Because if you don't understand this, I guarantee you may be in that death spot.
And brothers, don't think because the consequences is more heavy on the woman, but you can't just go out there and just be smashing everything either while you married.
Because now,
That's right. Because a lot of brothers think they got, because it don't speak about no consequences as far as a brother, like if he was to go sleep outside the marriage, you know what I'm saying, what consequences he gonna face.
Yep.
But you can't just go do that either, bro.
Yep. Because one of the things that is dangerous about doing that as a man is that a lot of these women are already in a
Dealing with
relationship.
somebody,
So
yeah.
you could be committing you more than likely probably committing adultery because the majority of these women have some kind of man they're tied to.
Right.
Even with
This is
adulterous
facts,
woman.
and this is statistical facts about women's data of their relationships compared to even the men in their same age group.
Exactly.
So now you get in a situation where you might you thinking you messing with some woman, she got a man. If your wife finds out that that you stepped out on her, and that not only that, the woman was married, meaning in a relationship with somebody else, she could leave you on the grounds of adultery.
She can leave you on the grounds of
So
adultery.
now you done gave her a free ticket.
You done gave her a ticket out of
And
there.
such she didn't want to be with you no more. So it go both ways, like how it could happen. Now, if a brother is able to have a second wife and he can handle it, then that's different. There's no, there's, contrary to what these Christians say, there's no law against a man having a second wife.
Yeah, and to the brothers, you got to be upright with that sister about that.
Yeah, let her know.
You got to let her know, because you can't just come up like some people in Israel do, have a sister, get her pregnant, and then come back and say, oh, I want a second wife, and you hadn't even talked to that sister about that from the beginning.
Yeah, you're operating deceitfully.
That's deceit right there, bro, and that's the carnal mind right there. And so now you have sisters up here, they upset because you didn't tell them the truth, and then they bail out, and then you go and get with another one. You an adulterer, bro. You up here committing this fornication, and just like that Hebrews states, it says, the whoremonger and the adulterers God will judge. So you got to be careful.
That's what you're going to either be, a whoremonger, if you're running out there just smashing women while you're married, or you're going to be an adulterer because you're going to be smashing somebody else's woman.
Come on now.
That's going to be either one of them. That's why he say they're going to be judged together the same way. They're going to be judged the same way with death.
So then we're going to go ahead and segue to BitChute. So if you're watching this on YouTube, click on our BitChute link so you can watch some stuff that we can talk about uncensored that we can't talk about on YouTube.
Yeah. So, and with that, we'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.
Okay,
So now we